Joining us live is Andrew Weidemann, a farmer in Victoria. We've been looking at this for you, and certainly some good news. Around 25 millimetres, I believe, is what some farmers need. Not so good in other areas, including the western parts of Victoria. How did you fare?
Yeah, we had about 16 to 20 mil of rain across the farm here over the weekend, Janie. So, yeah, or yesterday, I should say. So, yeah, we're obviously hoping to get a little bit more than that, but it's a start. And if we can get rain in another 10 days, that'll be all important because that'll mean we've probably just had the seasonal break, which is good. As you said, there's a lot of areas that have missed out, unfortunately, probably a lot around 10 mils to the same, up to about 15 mil. But a couple of exceptional areas up around Midiamo, 30 to 40 mils. Swan Hill, 26 mils. So on lighter soils, that will definitely be the start to the season for those areas. And obviously the other areas that have missed out be like us, looking for further follow-up rain in the next 10 days to a fortnight at least. Otherwise, yeah, it won't be of any benefit at all.
All right, leading up to the election, what are farmers feeling in terms of where they're going to vote? We just heard the Prime Minister talking about climate change, for example, and he was mentioning it's not just an economic, but it's an environmental issue. And of course, insurance premiums are going up in all aspects there. But in terms of farmers, we've got things like the live sheep trade, a big concern. And also, I know that you've got around a group of 21 groups on the back of poor policy, including renewables. What have they been saying?
Yeah, so look, it's very much a disconnection between the rural people and the current governments, both here in Victoria and clearly federally, Janie. So that's been the premise. Bad policy has brought about the evolution of more than 20 odd groups here in Victoria, and we've actually now formed a coalition of those groups. We're working on a name for the groups going forward. But look, that's all happened on the back of this reckless renewables rollout that the government has pushed into place. And on top of that, we've also got mining taking up some, or looking to take up some of the best agricultural land in Australia, highly productive soils. And we're being blindsided by government looking to basically rip out the feet from under farming families right across the regions. And look, there's a lot of very upset people out here, and that's why all these groups were formed. And yes, over the last probably 4 or 5 weeks, I've been chairing these groups to try and come together and look at putting policies in place. And we're obviously going to have an impact in the elections. We want to get out and about, and we already have been in a number of areas supporting the candidates that are supporting what we're all about. And that's about taking some time to just push back on what's going on and actually understand the impacts of this on the regions, these renewable rollouts, and then understand what that consequences will be long term for those families that have taken up as hosts of these wind turbines, but also the transmission lines that are being pushed onto farmers without any say whatsoever. And of course, there's been a rollout of a map that's actually outlined a considerable area, almost 800,000 hectares of Victorian land has been put on the map.
We hear time and time again, even well and truly prior to this election, that farmers are treated as second-class citizens. It's got to stop, hasn't it? Because I've spoken to you a lot, I've spoken to a lot of farmers, and we hear this so often. You've told me that people are going to basically give up if it's not a coalition government. Talk us through what that means.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's really trying to keep people's chin up, I suppose, for want of words, to be honest, Janie, because, a lot of people are feeling quite helpless with what's been going on. And I think that, Bowen's rollout of his energy policy and the federal government has really absolutely knocked people around considerably and in the communities. And we're seeing, people, long-term friends have been split up on the back of not being transparent. I mean, the whole thing has been an absolute sham from the get-go. And the reality is other parts of the globe, and I'm part of the Global Farmer Network, which I think I've told you before, those countries, they're all stopping putting up these wind towers and things and moving more towards a stronger energy policy around gas, and where they can, even for repowering coal-fired power stations, and clearly nuclear is a long-term opportunity for governments as well. But, we're the only G20 country in the world doesn't have a nuclear policy, and that's something that we've been promoting quite seriously with government.
All right, we've got to wrap up, but Andrew, thank you very much for joining us, and good to see you got that rain. Hopefully you get much more and certainly what you need. Thank you.
Yeah, well, let's hope we get some follow-up very soon, Janie, and thanks for the opportunity again. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.